Gentlemen, what if I told you there's a single adjustment to one familiar position that brings satisfaction to 89% of women? I'm not talking about some complicated acrobatic moves or techniques that require flexibility. You don't have just one small shift in alignment that can completely transform how she responds. I am Dr. Julia Rhodes, and I am a men's sex therapist who's worked with couples for over a decade. I can tell you this, most men are doing everything right except for one crucial detail, and that detail is backed by over 40 years of research. Today I'm showing you exactly what that adjustment is, why it works so powerfully, and how to use it tonight. But first, let me tell you why what you're doing now might be leaving her unsatisfied, even if she's never said a word about it. Most men stick to what's familiar, what once worked, and they repeat it for years, sometimes decades, not because they don't care, but because no one ever taught them another way. When I ask my male patients what creates satisfaction and intimacy, the most common answer is lasting longer or stamina. But when I ask women that same question, the answers are completely different. They don't talk about time, they talk about connection. They say their bodies need to be touched the right way, that they need rhythm to sync with, not speed to chase after. That's a difference very few men recognize. Truth is, we live in a world that constantly tells men how to perform better, but rarely teaches them how a woman's body actually works. Most of what men learn comes from movies, friends, or trial and error. Almost no one explains the real science behind female arousal. And because of that, nearly 75% of women can't reach full satisfaction through the typical approach alone. It's not that they've lost desire, it's that most techniques men rely on completely ignore the single most sensitive area of a woman's body. Let me be clear about something. According to decades of research, only about 18% of women can reach climax through internal motion alone. That means the remaining 82% need something else. An additional element that most men have never been taught. Think about that for a moment. If 10 women were sitting in a room, only 2 of them could fully experience pleasure the way most men think is right. The other 8, their bodies are wired differently. They need a different kind of activation. You see, the external sensitive region, home to over 8,000 nerve endings, produces the most powerful response in a woman's body. Yet most conventional positions fail to make consistent contact with this area. That's why so many men say, I try my best, but something still feels missing. It's not because you're doing it wrong, it's because you've unknowingly been leaving out the most important part. And right here, with just one small adjustment in alignment and rhythm, everything can change. What I'm about to share with you isn't a trick. It's a research technique that's been studied since the 1980s. I call it the alignment method. At first glance, it looks almost identical to the traditional face-to-face position. But that tiny difference, just a subtle change in body placement, is what makes all the difference. Instead of focusing on the usual in and out motion, you shift your body slightly higher, just enough so that the base of your shaft aligns with her external sensitive area. This creates constant contact with the region that contains those 8,000 nerve endings, the very area 82% of women truly need stimulated for satisfaction. Though this may sound small, but research shows this adjustment alone can increase a woman's pleasure by up to 56%. Not through speed, not through strength, but by keeping both bodies in rhythm, perfectly in sync. Okay, now let me walk you through it step by step. First, start from what's familiar. Begin in the classic face-to-face position, just as you normally would. Don't rush to change anything yet. Simply slow down your breathing and start to notice her rhythm, her heartbeat, her breath. That calm awareness is the foundation. Now comes the key adjustment. Move your body slightly higher, just enough so that your chest aligns roughly with her shoulders. This raises your hips a bit, which naturally brings the base of your shaft into alignment with her external sensitive area. That's the alignment point where both bodies find their natural sync. Instead of the usual in and out motion, switch to a gentle rocking motion up and down, steady, calm, and smooth. Move as if your body is breathing with hers. Don't thrust. Sway together. Each movement should match a slow breath. The slower it gets, the deeper the sense of connection becomes. And here's the most delicate part. As you move downward, she'll naturally move upward. The two motions meet in the middle, forming a synchronized rhythm. No one leads, no one follows. It's simply two bodies listening to each other through movement. Many couples describe it as a gentle wave, not rushed, not forced, just pure connection. After a few moments, allow her to guide the rhythm. Feel how her body responds. If she pulls you closer, you're in sync. If her body tenses slightly, slow down a bit. The goal isn't perfection. Focus on patience, awareness, and the flow. Now, there is a variation of this that works beautifully, especially for women who need more control over the rhythm. When she's on top, in the face-to-face position, contact with her external sensitive area happens naturally and continuously. This is exactly what over 90% of women need to reach full satisfaction for you. This is the time to shift from leading to listening. Keep your body stable. Place your hands gently on her hips for support and let her find her own rhythm. Once she settles into it, join her gently, not by pushing or speeding up, but by breathing and moving in sync with her. You don't rush it, you don't force it. You just let your bodies find one rhythm together. And while you're in either position, don't underestimate the power of gentle external touch. Your hands are free during the alignment method. Use them with care and intention. Light, synchronized touch that follows the same pace as your breathing and movement. According to research, 7 out of 10 women need some form of external activation to reach complete satisfaction. When touch becomes part of a shared rhythm, the whole experience shifts from performance to harmony. Before you try this, let me warn you about the mistakes that cancel out the benefits. First mistake, going too fast. When you rush, the natural rhythm breaks and the connection disappears. Slow down. Let your bodies find the rhythm on their own. Second mistake, lack of communication. Every woman is different. Something as simple as, does this pressure feel good for you, can make her feel seen, heard, and completely safe. Third mistake, focusing only on yourself. When you start worrying about performance, you disconnect from the moment. Instead of thinking, am I doing well? Pay attention to her signals, her breathing, her small movements, her reactions. Fourth mistake, giving up too soon. The first few times might feel awkward. That's perfectly normal. Don't treat it as failure. Treat it as learning a new rhythm. Once your rhythms align, your bodies will start communicating on their own. Now let me tell you something important about being over 60. After 50, everything in your body changes just a little. Hormones drop, reactions slow. Many men start to believe, I'm not the same anymore. But those changes can actually become your greatest advantage. When men are younger, they tend to rush. They chase speed, performance, and results. But after 60, the body naturally begins to slow down. And within that slower pace lies something young men rarely have: the patience, awareness, and the ability to feel every subtle signal. That's why the alignment method fits perfectly for men at this stage of life. It doesn't rely on strength, it relies on presence. It doesn't demand endurance, it asks for focus, for being fully there in every breath, every motion, every response. Many couples tell me that after trying this technique, they felt close again for the first time in years. Not because of anything extreme, but because they moved together, not separately. That's what makes this more than just a physical method. It's a way to reconnect emotionally and physically at the most meaningful stage of life. So this week, try something simple. During your next intimate moment, shift your body slightly higher. Slow down. Let your bodies find the rhythm on their own. Pay attention to her breathing, her reactions, and let feeling guide you, not thought. I covered the deeper mechanics of this in last week's newsletter, including specific positioning angles, breathing patterns, and how to read her body's subtle cues. If you're not subscribed, links in the description. Gentlemen, satisfaction in intimacy doesn't come from pushing harder. It comes from understanding the body and learning to move with it. What makes a man truly captivating isn't physical power, it's presence. It's the ability to be there fully, calmly, genuinely, and to make the woman beside you feel safe, understood, and connected. So, my question for you: are you ready to try this alignment method? Drop it in the comments. And if you want the complete guide to mature intimacy, including advanced techniques, positioning secrets, and research-backed strategies I can't share on YouTube, join my free newsletter. Links in the description. Remember, true connection doesn't come from proving your strength. It comes from understanding each other. I'm Dr. Julia Rhodes, and I'll see you in the next one.